Hi, this is Eric. I'm building the Walters Trooper Factory Kids Stormtrooper helmet. It's been raining, so I haven't been able to go out and trim the ears because I don't have a shop. So we've gotten 10 inches of rain since I started this build, but I'm going to try to do it from my doorway so I don't get a big mess in the house. So anyway, if you remember, I rough trimmed the ears to kind of the shape I wanted, and then I'm going to take a sander, and I use this 1/2-inch belt sander, and you could get these at I can't even think of the name of the place. I'll think of it and I'll tell you. Anyways, they're about $40, and I happen to get this one on eBay, but I know you can get Harbor Freights is where you can get them. And it's a Chicago Electric 1/2-inch belt sander. Takes a 18-inch belt, and it works really well. And I use this for trimming the teeth out, any sanding I need to do. It just works great. And you also need to have a pencil. So, if you remember, I told you that these have kind of a line where the mold marks were. You don't really want to go by those, but they're pretty close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim around the round part of the ear, sand it down, and then I'm going to kind of start getting close to the shape, and then I'll fit it on the helmet. So let me start that. Once I get it close to the shape I want, I kind of clean it up a little bit, pull off all the loose stuff. It's going to need to be cleaned up yet. And I kind of sand it to the shape I think is going to be close. And then I'll try it on the ear and see how it looks. And then when I see where it needs trimming, like you can see here it's touching, and there's a gap here. So I want to get rid of some of the edge down here, and I want to clean up that a little bit. On the front, There's quite a bit of touching here, so I want to clean that up to get this part down a little bit. So I'll mark those areas where I want to get it down. And I'll resand again. And I use the tip of the sander, and I basically sand like this. I work my way back and forth, and I get it to where I want it. And down here I want it really kind of flat at the bottom, but you can see how much I need to take off here. Again, I'm sanding just a little bit, and then I'm coming back in and fitting it. I don't want to do too much at a time, and I'll find out I took off too much. So as you can see, I still have a pretty good gap in here, so I'll need to take some more off up here, and maybe a little down in this corner. And on the back, you can see I got a tab there. I need to get rid of that tab. And maybe down in this corner here. And I might go around the top part of the ear, make it a little thinner. So I'm not doing a lot at a time. And I'll fit it again and see how I'm doing. You see it's getting really close. And again, I'm taking off just a little bit at a time. Not a whole lot. The front still has a pretty good gap. I think if I take a little off down here, make that a little bit less in here, and maybe a little bit I'll start there. I'll just take off that part and see where we're at. So the back is pretty good. And the front's pretty good also. So as you can see, I didn't do a whole lot. It's pretty fast. So next what I'll do is I'll drill my holes and I'll install the ear. So it really doesn't take that much work to do your ears. Just take your time and get it done. And when you put your screws in, this gap will close up a little bit because it'll pull that plastic up from the back. And turn out pretty nice. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a file and I'll clean up these edges because they're not the smoothest. And then I'll come back on another video and I'll show you how I install this ear. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll trim our bottom once we get both of our ears installed. So that's how easy it is to do the ears. They're really not that tough. Just take your time. Don't over trim, because once you over trim it's hard to correct it. But every little bit you take off up here makes a huge difference here. And same with here. The more you take off here, the less gap there will be here. So if you remove some at the bottom here, the bottom part of the ear, so it lays flat against the helmet, and if you remove more here, this part gets closer. And if you remove some from the front, it'll also make the back go down a little bit more. So you just got to take your time and do it slowly, and that's how easy it is to do trimming on the ear. I'll see you on the next video.